All right.
Yeah.
So now we're gonna go deal with...
We're gonna go try to find the grass man.
Yeah, we're gonna find the grass man. I thought we were gonna go deal with the demo, but no, we need the grass man first.
Yeah, we need to understand why the trees and gate have died.
Right.
In order to understand the demon's power, is essentially what the guy said.
Yes, that's what the elders said.
Yep.
The completely legitimate reason of, no, we need to know more about the demon.
Yeah.
Didn't we just fight 4 demons randomly and totally kick the rest? Don't worry about that.
Yeah, but this is a big demon with 3 eyes and a hard carapace.
Yeah, and you haven't fought anything with 3 eyes.
Yeah.
I mean, at most...
Trout had 4.
Yeah, Trout had 4, the 2-headed hyena guy had 4, presumably.
Yeah.
Yeah, so no, 3, that's the number to worry about.
Yeah, exactly.
Also, this traversal
is the best.
Shoggoths?
No, just weird tentacle monsters that are not Shoggoths.
Well, your party did what I would have done seeing that.
Yep.
Like, fuck that.
Except that I did it because I wanted to save time.
That's right.
It's like one of the very few times in this recording when I actually successfully ran on the first try. So here we are at W Cape. Welcome to W Cape. We sell whale cakes.
The dragon!
Mm-hmm. Cat, and I don't remember who I take. Oh, Sten. Okay, interesting.
I see even after that little solo segment, Bo is still shit tier.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I use him ever again. Because you don't have to.
Yeah. At least they do that. At least they do that. That's what drove me nuts in Final Fantasy IX.
Oh.
Is that section where, like, you have to use everyone.
Yeah.
And it's like, great, I didn't know this going in, so I picked all my best characters, so all my shit tier characters had to deal with the other thing.
Uh-huh.
And I had a bad time.
Yeah. To be fair, they level down the monsters significantly for that section.
They do, but that was my first playthrough back when it came out and I was still a kid.
Yeah, and by the way, in this game, it's worse.
Oh god.
Because there are sections where you need to use certain characters, and if you haven't been using them, they are not leveled up enough.
Oh.
In one of those sections, if the character isn't leveled up enough, there are 2 levels to a dungeon, a very minor dungeon that you can use specifically to grind him up to the proper level. Because they know that you can't beat the boss at the end of where you're going unless you grind this particular character. And you can't leave.
I'm getting flashbacks of Barrett in Desert Town.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. Except it's worse because you can't leave at all.
Yeah.
And it's just this character.
Oh, it's just him for the whole thing?
It is solo.
Ugh.
Yeah. Like right now, in this particular instance, you have to use Kat. But she has a party with her.
Right.
When there are a couple instances where you have to use solo characters. Yes, I know.
The level where Cat is required is the stomach level.
I don't know what you're talking about. What could you possibly be referring to? So anyway, it's raining people.
Those talking dolphins?
Yeah.
Okay. Just hanging out in a stomach.
Yeah. These kids brought me here. Tree and Ton. The fact that I remember that shows how many times I've played this game, because they are not important characters. In fact, those might be the only time that you actually see their name.
Inside the mouth of the web.
Yep.
Oh, I see the teeth.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, so that means we climb down its blowhole.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Because, see, I thought we had gone down its mouth.
Nope.
Which means if that was the case, how did you get here if you didn't come in through where we came from?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't want to shake your hand, mister.
Swallowed a big stone doll.
That's right. He swallowed it. Do you guys know something?
At the end of this dungeon is another instance where punctuation is actually or lack of punctuation is actually the better choice.
Oh.
Like this doll at the end is legitimately creepy.
Ooh, I'm excited.
Yeah.
Isn't it scary?
The doll in the dream says, sleep, sleep.
Sleep.
That's what Grandpa said, right? He did say that, didn't he?
Oh, they're not doing doublespeak.
Nah.
They're not Skaven.
Nope.
I think I saw it near the stomach. That would actually be an amazing scam to be running on people.
Yeah!
Like, hey, there's this thing. Can you help us out? It's right by my stomach.
Uh-huh.
I feel like that's an Aesop's fable.
Yeah, I could see that happening.
Where it's like, yeah, no, if something seems sketch, maybe you shouldn't.
Yeah. I think probably there is an Aesop's fable like that, or at least something of that era.
Yeah.
Like, there has to be. It's just... I know that there are plenty of stories where characters trick other characters into their mouths at the very least.
Oh, yeah. Like,
Crocodile Dentist is a fucking Shel Silverstein.
Isn't that the end of Gingerbread Man?
Yeah, sort of. I mean, to be fair, he kind of had little choice, but the fox does trick him onto getting onto his head to go cross the river. And the fox starts to cross the river, but then he's like, this gingerbread man is fucking delicious smelling. And then he eats him.
Yeah.
So this is the first of 3 endo levels.
Interesting.
Yeah. Endo meaning inside a body.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know. But yeah, like there's, granted, I guess it's more like 2.5 because one of them isn't exactly inside of a body. It's a little bit more complicated than that, but yeah, I think they wanted to reuse the assets for one thing, but another thing is like there's just some interesting scenarios in this game.
You saw a lot of like in the belly of the beast kind of stuff back in the day.
Yeah, the Fantastic Voyage, I believe the TV Tropes thing calls it.
Yeah. Like, I don't remember, I can't think of any in the current gen.
Mm-hmm.
I was about to say you haven't seen that in a while, but then I remember Devil May Cry 3 has a level inside of something.
Okay.
But then again, that was PS2.
Right. Still quite a while ago.
And then a lot of it has to, like, your definition does a lot of the, like, Dead Space or Gears of War or Halo stuff with, like, the Flood, where it all gets biological. Does that count? Or does it specifically have to be, like, this is a single entity and you have gone inside of it?
Yeah, not just a flesh wall.
Yeah. Because flesh walls are really common, but it's typically, like, it's the creep. It's this goo shit that covers everything.
Yeah.
Because if you count that, then Resident Evil 7 had that for like the last 2 levels.
This is true.
Like to be actually inside of something.
I don't know if I told this on this show, but back in high school when we didn't know anything about D&D, we cast Stone to Flesh on a castle. An entire castle.
Oh!
Because we didn't read the part about how it's only a 10-foot cube. And so we made a castle into flesh, and then we set it on fire. That was a good time. It's great to come up with little plans that just destroy the entirety of your enemy forces.
You know what that sounds like?
Mr. Welch?
No. There's an item in Magic called the Mirari.
Okay.
And in the game, it's like, okay, it does whatever. But in the lore, there's a really interesting effect. It amplifies spells.
Oh.
But the level of amplification isn't really well defined.
Okay.
And there's no control over the amplification. It's like, I think at some point they describe it like it is a lens. There's no calibrating it. So you have to calibrate what goes in because the effect is automatic. So, like, the first person in canon to pick it up and use it tries to use it to crystallize one person, and he ends up crystallizing everything in a 2-mile radius.
Oh, shit. Including himself?
Including himself.
Oh, shit.
One person tries to, like, sink a coastal town, and he changes like the landscape of a continent.
Oh, wow.
And the riptide from that completely annihilates him. Because he's underwater. But yeah, like all of 2 people ever actually use it and not immediately eat shit for it. And everyone who uses it regrets it. Only 1 character ever actually picks it up and doesn't suffer for it, but that was because she was batshit insane.
Oh, okay.
Like, one of the side effects is anyone who is attuned to magic, which in Magic the Gathering is like 90% of the cast, can tell what this can do. Because it's a perfectly reflective sphere, they see in it their own power reflected back, and it's kind of the what I can do with this, which is why it's so seductive.
Right.
And this character is like, oh yeah, look at all this power. Hey look, it makes a pretty good hacky sack. Seems pretty fun. Oh well, into the vault it goes.
Nice.
Don't care. That was one of my favorite scenes. Because the manipulative bastard who had spent the entire last 3 books chasing this damn thing was laying there incapacitated. She was on his side, but she didn't work for him. Like she was a subordinate of an ally. And he did all this scheming and betrayed everyone to get his hands on it, but he was just fucked up enough that he couldn't overpower and take it from her. So he had to sit there and watch as like the MacGuffin of ultimate power is being used like a toy in the hands of this psycho bitch.
Glorious.
And when he asked her about it, she's like, I know exactly what this is. This offers you power. I don't care.
Yeah.
Whatever.
You know what? That's probably the best hands it could be in.
Oh, and she had a great line. It's like, it reminded me of home. Like graveyard soil in a place where strangers can disappear without awkward questions.
Oh my god.
All the way, like, this is what makes me miss old Magic lore. The way they described this character was beautiful. It was like, her brand of magic is she summons nightmares from her own psyche to fight for her.
Oh shit.
She physically manifests her fears. Which makes you walk this fine line of, you have to be afraid of them for them to have power because they're nightmares.
Yeah.
But you also have to control them. So you simultaneously have to fear them and completely and totally dominate them.
Yeah.
Which is why most users of this particular brand of magic are insane.
That makes sense. Requires some degree of, like, doublethink.
A lot of doublethink and some severe cognitive dissonance.
Yeah.
But there were moments where it's like she's sitting there Oop. Okay. But yeah, like...
So, sorry for that editing blip.
Don't worry about it. There's this one great moment where, like, a character rushes into her encampment who isn't part of her faction and is like, I need to talk to her. And her underling's like, you can't talk to her right now. Why not? She's tormenting her inner demons. And it's like, what the fuck?
Huh?
And she's just sitting there with this dumb look on her face. And it's like, oh god, she is fucking nuts. She was fun. She was a cool character.
Yep.
But that was that point in my life where I was cursed and all my favorites had to die.
Yeah, of course.
I think we all hit that point.
Yeah. I mean, maybe not favorite characters per se, but at the very least, like, favorite franchises.
Yeah. Oh, that's the worst.
Yeah.
Like, just because your favorite character dies doesn't mean the story's over.
Right.
And a lot of the times they get good, poignant deaths. Like fucking Wolfwood. Like, oh my god, he died and I wasn't even mad.
I have no idea who you're talking about.
Don't worry about it then.
Okay.
But like, if a franchise dies, then it's like, oh.
How do you think I feel about this one?
Yeah. Well, hey, I know how you feel, man.
Yeah.
Silent Hill.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Because, like, this one had, like, one bad one, and then they were like, we're done.
Yeah, kind of. Like, the first one was not very good. And then Breath of Fire Dragon Quarter is not a bad game. It's just not a Breath of Fire game per se.
Right.
It has some of the trappings, but that's about it. And I think that's what pissed people off the most about it. And there are frustrating elements to the gameplay too. I'm not going to brush those aside. But it wasn't a bad game. It's actually very interesting and kind of has a cool storyline and good characters and whatnot. It's not what people wanted, and so they didn't buy it.
Right. But
Silent Hill had a shit ton of bad games in succession.
Oh god, its death was slow and painful.
Yeah.
And then had that moment of like, maybe it's gonna get better. Maybe it's gonna revive. Maybe it's gonna pull through. Oh no, now it's deader than it's ever been before.
Yeah.
Like, it's showing signs of improvement. It's gone. The disease has gone to remission, and then they pull the plug.
Right.
And it's like, what now?
It's the most disappointing possible thing that could have happened.
But why now? Why couldn't they even pull the plug after one of the shitty games?
Mm-hmm.
Like, why not after Homecoming, which is like everything about it is bad? Or, like, let it die peacefully after Downpour, where it wasn't great, but, like, it had ideas at the very least.
Uh-huh.
Like,
yeah. Well, and then there's Star Fox, which is caught in an infinite loop.
Star Fox is Groundhog Day, and everyone is sitting there asking, like, what lesson do you need us to learn, spirits?
Huh? And by spirits, you mean fans, but also the creator. Everybody involved in the Star Fox debacle is just, it's so fucking wrong. Like, they don't know what they're doing. Nobody knows what they're doing.
What do you want from us, Iwata?
Yeah.
What do you want?
Oh, he's dead.
Oh, fuck. Who's
Miyamoto.
Miyamoto, fuck. Miyamoto, what do you want? What do you want from us, Miyamoto?
Yeah, and Miyamoto's screaming back, what do you want from me, fucking fans? Do you want Star Fox 64 or don't you?
Fans don't know what they want.
Nope.
Except
well,
for...
No. See, the thing is, I think fans do know what they want on an individual basis.
Yes.
Yeah. But when we got large groups of people, you're going to hear a lot of different things. That's the kind of comment on YouTube that I always find hilarious. It's like, fans before, we don't want blah blah blah. Fans after, we want blah blah blah. And it's like, no, these are some fans, and then these are other fans. I have a feeling most of those fans have not switched their opinion.
Yeah, this is congruent.
Yep, it's just you're going to hear the louder ones at all times, because the ones who are satiated, they're not talking as much.
Nope. I feel like the only fans that can very safely say they know what they want are the Sonic fans, because they've gone and they've made the better game.
Yeah, this is true. Although, honestly, I would love to see, like, as much as I shit on the Star Fox base, I would like to see a fan-made Star Fox game, because I still think they could do a better job than Miyamoto.
Yeah. Like, at this point,
yeah,
we don't need a big, flashy AAA game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Star Fox, the original and Star Fox 2 show that it works just as well in low poly.
Yeah. Yep. It's not even that necessarily. Like, we just need something new and interesting for the series, and use some of the assets that were already established while perhaps giving a couple extra things. Like, Star Fox Assault, I think, would have been the perfect game if they'd balanced the types of gameplay more. Like, people wouldn't have gotten nearly as mad if there weren't as many foot missions.
Yeah.
Because, like, I love the foot missions, but there were a lot of them, more than just the aerial missions.
And that's not what people go to Star Fox for.
Not necessarily, no. But, like...
I know when I was younger, that's what got me to poo-poo that game.
Yeah, that sucks. Because it's so... Like, this isn't what Star Fox is about as far as I'm concerned, but I know I'm a different type of fan.
Here's my mindset.
Uh-huh.
Here's where I was coming from.
Yeah.
I love games where you're in airplanes and starships.
Right.
Those are really the minority.
Uh-huh.
So whenever I have a game where I'm in a mech or I'm in a starship and I'm whatever...
That's what you want to be doing.
And then when the game tells me to get out,
uh-huh,
suddenly that game turns from the minority into what everyone else is doing, and I'm like, stop it.
Okay.
Stop it. If I wanted Zelda, I would go play Zelda.
Right.
I want to be in a starship.
Mm-hmm. I can understand that. I don't agree with it, because I think Star Fox is about the characters, but I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah, it depends on where you define a franchise. If you define it by its gameplay or you define it by its characters.
Right, exactly.
I can understand why with the more modern stuff you're going with characters for Star Fox, but there really wasn't a lot of character in 1 and 64.
Right.
So back before Adventure, it's like, no, like Adventure is fine for what it is. Like it's a rare collectathon.
Yeah.
But it's like the franchise up until now has been space stuff, and I want to do space stuff. And I kind of wished they had kept it as like its own side story, and Crystal was the player character.
Yeah. Yeah, I can understand that. And I do consider it actually its own kind of side story. But the problem with that is that in that franchise, there's so fucking few games.
Yeah.
But you can see where I've been betrayed.
Yeah.
Because guess what? The characters don't matter when they've been rebooted 7 times.
Yeah.
It's like, just bothers me so much.
That's the problem with the Star Fox franchise. As a franchise, it doesn't have like solid footing, and it doesn't have like really well-defined anything.
Yeah, exactly. Like, we're eventually going to start doing lore videos, I guess.
Probably.
Yeah, something like that. It's a plan anyway. And if I do Star Fox, I'm going to talk about all of the timelines, because there's a lot of them.
Yeah.
And many of them don't go anywhere. But Star Fox Command, according to Nintendo, officially every ending is canon.
How?
Because they're all different timelines.
Okay. That's a cop-out.
Yes, it is, and it sucks, but like, that's the thing. Star Fox Command is the end of the franchise.
Yeah.
As far as canon is concerned.
Because 0 is just a retelling of fucking 64.
Yeah, it's a retelling of the first one.
Yeah, it's a retelling of 64, and 64 was a retelling of the original.
Yeah, like, okay, so here's the thing. All right, what is it? The original 64 remake on 3DS, which you might count. We had 0, and then if you also want to go into it, we had the Super Nintendo Power Star Fox comic, and we had the Star Fox 64 comic in, I think, also Nintendo Power. Like, that is 5 retellings of the same story. That is more than there are other storylines in the Star Fox franchise.
Yeah.
There's a problem, people.
And it's not even a particularly interesting story.
No, it's dumb.
It's like paint-by-number space opera.
Yeah, exactly. It's basically just a parody of Star Wars.
Yeah.
Yeah. We got talking about Star Fox. Okay, so here's the statue.
Okay.
That I love.
Kind of has like a Re-Dead vibe to it.
Yeah. Look at this fucker. It's so cool.
There are words written on the doll.
May the person who wakes me have many misfortunes.
No matter what they may be. Surprise, bitch! I already got many misfortunes.
Yeah, the screen darkens, lightning comes along. Hum hum hum. It wobbles, so sleepy. I can't sleep. It's not fair, so I'll put this whale to sleep forever. Who are you guys? Period. You look like you haven't got a care in the world. I'll also put you to sleep forever. Isn't that fucking creepy?
A little bit. Though,
and then this is the only boss that has an intro like this. Most of them just appear on the screen.
Oh.
They put a lot of care into this dude.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Though I couldn't help but, like, as he's talking, get in my head, bitch, I've got 99 problems, but a bitch ain't one.
Right.
What do you mean I look carefree? My childhood got erased from history or some shit. Or I'm in an alternate timeline or something.
And this guy doesn't know you.
Yeah.
Or go to sleep. It's the original Jeff the Killer. Isn't that a creepy fucking attack?
A little bit.
Especially with this background.
It's like, bitch, you don't know me.
Also, I love the blood pumping through the veins.
Yeah, that detail is quite impressive.
Just the art direction in this is so great. Like,
you just fucking punch the ghost.
Yeah, why wouldn't you punch a ghost?
Bomb.
Yep. Atmospheric explosion. Single.
Okay.
Yeah. Munmar.
Mudmar, the ever-living!
They do a ghost enemy similar to this in Breath of Fire 3. I'm sure it's a callback. And it looks pretty rad, but it's not... It just doesn't have the effect this one does. Probably partially because it's also introduced in a comedic fashion.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of hard to go from comedy to horror. And I feel like the only way you can really get that to work is when you have, like, the hard, sudden shift. Either the hard, sudden shift, where it's like a switch has been flipped and you realize all the jokes now have this undercurrent to them.
Right, yeah.
Or you do the exact opposite, where it's a really slow burn, and it's a slow realization that, like, oh shit, that's not joking. Oh, this is, I should probably go now. Because, like, I know I've seen it before, but it's not coming to my head. Of just like the, haha, we're having fun. No, we're not. Now we need to leave.
Yeah, so this thing's a pain in the ass.
Yeah? Is sleep in this,
It's not the Pokemon sleep where you can keep sleeping through getting hit.
Okay. I was gonna ask, when I see sleep in JRPGs, it's typically either...
Oh, just a second. I love the dialogue here. For some reason I'm getting very sleepy. I'm so happy. Now I can finally go to sleep. I'm going to fall. Where did they come up with that?
Okay.
It's just so weird and creepy. I love it. But anyway, in JRPGs, sleep stuff.
So, sleep, it's either between each round, you flip a coin, and if you win the toss, you're awake. If not, you're still asleep. And getting hit doesn't wake you up.
Right.
In others, it's you're asleep until something wakes you up. And there's the kind of hybrid one where things can wake you up, but they aren't guaranteed.
Yeah.
But you can wake up on your own.
This is probably the most generous type of hybrid, where you can wake up on your own and things hitting you will wake you up immediately.
Okay. Because one of them, you're asleep until something wakes you up. Seems like the better option until you get an entire team asleep. Especially if the enemy has something nasty they do with sleeping characters.
Yes. Or if the enemy is paired with another enemy, and one does sleep and the other attacks.
Well then, yeah, especially if they get the right kind of tempo to fuck you.
Yeah, or Final Fantasy type of sleep, where magic spells don't wake you up.
Oh, that's the worst.
Yes, I hate that so much.
Because if your entire party goes to sleep, you might as well just reset now.
I mean, granted, you're probably going to wake up in a system like that eventually, but there's no guarantee you're not going to get your shit pushed in the meantime, even if the enemy's kind of weak.
Yeah, especially with the harder ones. Like 7, 8, 9, who gives a shit?
Yeah.
You can beat those in your sleep.
Yeah.
10 isn't too bad either. But like 2.
Oh god.
2 will fucking wreck you.
Yeah. I'm not sure the sleep status ailment is in 2, but I only played it once, so I don't know.
It has been a long time.
Yeah, and it has been a long time for me too. That is one Final Fantasy I will not revisit.
If I ever go through all the Final Fantasies, I'll go back to 1, 2, and 3. But aside from that, I have no major...
Yeah, like if you're marathoning or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, official or unofficial marathon.
Yeah.
Probably not the whole series in one sitting.
Oh, God. You will do that, and then you will immediately die because you haven't slept for like 23 days.
Yes.
Because isn't like a speedrun of a Final Fantasy game still like 8 hours?
It depends on the game, but yeah, it can be. And some of them are longer.
Yeah.
I don't think you can get through 10 in just 8 hours. Because that's a very linear game.
Yeah.
And there are no real tricks to going to new places. Or 12.
Oh,
God, speedrunning 12 would be incredibly difficult. Oh. And I'm sure people do it, but I don't know how long it takes.
And 13 as well.
Yeah. Yeah, well, 12, I'm saying, because of the giant fucking map.
Oh god, yeah.
Like, even when you know where you're going, you still have to go around that giant map.
Yeah, 12 and 13, I'm hoping on the low points of the franchise.
Yeah. Yep, I've heard 15's good. Haven't played it yet.
I still need to sit down with 15.
Yeah.
Like, friggin'...
Friggin'?
Yeah, my brain froze. Mage is now rebooting. 11 is fine, but it's an MMO, so
Right.
I don't even know if the servers for 11 is still up.
Probably. It was really popular in Japan.
Yeah. 14 was a dumpster fire, and then they let it burn down and built a new one over, which I
Yeah.
hear is really good.
I heard it's really good too, yeah. That's still playing.
And I've heard good things about 15, and a lot of the other bad recent ones were side stories.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. If you want to marathon the Final Fantasies,
Oh
like,
god, do you count the side stories or just the main lines?
yeah. Like, do you go do 10, 2, and the 2 13 sequels?
Uh-huh.
Who asked for those?
Enough money was spent that they decided it might be worth it.
It's because the director wants to fuck Lightning.
Yep.
So creepy. Have you seen him talk about her in public?
No, I haven't.
Oh god. It is so cringe. It is like really obvious he wants to have sex with her.
That's nice.
Like, he treats her like... It's a dude with a waifu, like a straight up waifu.
Oh god.
Lightning is a waifu.
That's terrible. She's not even a good waifu.
No! She's so boring as a character.
Yeah. Probably the least likable character in that game, honestly.
Which is saying something, because that's a game where I literally hate everyone. Okay, I take that back. I don't hate Zaz.
Yeah, Saz is pretty great. And he's not in 13 too.
He's in 3, because everyone's in 3.
Nope.
And that ending is disgusting. Like, that ending was almost enough to get me to quit JRPGs altogether.
Damn.
Like, that almost killed a genre for me. Holy shit.
Yep. Yeah.
Tunlan.
So they want to take me to Tunlan, which is a town from the original, actually.
Oh.
It's a place where they speak only in music.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So it's probably Toonland.
Probably. So, this is your first transportation,
Oh.
which is neat.
So you don't get the traditional boat.
No, you
It's-
get a whale.
You get a whale. That's cool.
Yep.
That's pretty inventive.
Yeah.
Like, I think that was the one thing I liked about Final Fantasy VIII is the transport options.
Uh-huh.
Because that was the first one where that was the first time I ever played a JRPG.
Where you play a school.
Okay, the school is the build-up.
Uh-huh.
But the first thing is, like, right off the bat, your character can just go rent a car.
Uh-huh.
It's like, no, I don't need to hike across this monster-infested wilderness. I can go get a car.
That is true.
So many other times where it's like, we're living in a world with vehicles, why don't we have one?
Uh-huh.
The main character is like, no, I'm just gonna go rent a car.
Yeah, I've got one. I'm good.
I have my license, fuck it.
Yeah.
We'll just drive. So, no camping out in the wilderness, no fighting off enemies. No, why would we? That's awful.
Yeah. All right, so this is how you get to the whale. You go to these beaches and you use the whale bell.
And
then
this
you
is
just go
a-
around.
And this is you can unload on beaches?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's some of the map we haven't uncovered at all. In fact, we've uncovered maybe a third of it.
Okay. So you've basically done the continents that are connected by ground.
Yes.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, they're almost all connected by ground in some way or another. It's just that many of them are blocked off.
And can you now go to them?
You can go to certain parts.
Right.
Here's an interesting little island that you can go to. Totally optional town called... I can't remember whether it's Gunts or Gantz in this one.
Okay.
Because this is also a town from Breath of Fire 1 where the Ox people live.
Oh.
And I don't think I explore it in this video. So
Okay.
we can, yeah,
Then we will
can
go
see it
exploring
later.
next time.
Yep.